our NBA experts. 4 years, $44 million, that's essentially $11 million a year for a guy with no ankles. That's a horrible contract, but he was playing hurt. That's just not something you want from a guy who can do nothing but score.
Is he going to be strong enough against NBA defenders?
I think, Hannah, the bigger question is, where does he go? But he's been playing a year overseas in Italy, playing sparingly. You have guys like Jeff Teague, Johnny Flynn, and then you have Steph, who's a spectacular shooter, but not a true point, and there's just this sense that he's not the big-time athlete.
I have said the exact same thing 16 years here. I don't like jump shooting teams. I don't think you can win the championship beating good teams shoot jumpers.
But they're not even top three in your mind?
No, because I like the big men on those other three teams.
Man, did those predictions age horribly. Every one of them lasted less than a season before Stephen Curry went out and proved them completely wrong. But you can't entirely blame these analysts. Who could have guessed that this scrawny kid would turn into the NBA's greatest shooter of all time?
I was more interested in basketball at the time. So it was more my sport, kind of.
Where I am right now, I definitely think I can make an impact on any NBA team next year, so I have that kind of confidence.
Not even his own father knew Steph's full potential. Still, it was obvious Steph had a future in the NBA. But for the majority of his career, Stephen Curry's basketball talent has been overlooked and discredited. Growing up, Steph was just a 3-star recruit out of Charlotte Christian High School. He was an all-state player who led his team to 3 conference titles. But due to his slender frame and lack of explosiveness, he was ranked 263rd in the country. He received 0 offers from any of the major college programs. Virginia Tech offered Steph a walk-on position. But that was probably a favor because of Del Curry's incredible career there. Instead, he committed to Davidson, a mid-major school that did not have a long history of on-court success. While there, Steph put up insane numbers and put the Wildcats on a national stage. He led the NCAA in scoring his junior year with 28 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. But his most magical moments came from the NCAA tournament the year before. Steph dropped 40 in the first round, 33 in a Sweet 16 blowout, and finally lost in the Elite 8 against the #1 ranked Kansas Jayhawks. Although Steph had 25 of his team's total 57 points. Imagine if he had some help. Even after that miraculous run and his insane junior year performance, Steph was still doubted leading up to the 2009 NBA draft.
Is he going to be strong enough against NBA defenders?
I think, Hannah, the bigger question is, where does he go? You have guys like Jeff Teague, Johnny Flynn, and then you have Steph, who's a spectacular shooter, but not a true point, and there's just this sense that he's not the big-time athlete.
ESPN analysts really believe players like Brandon Jennings, Johnny Flynn, and Ricky Rubio would all turn out to be better NBA players than Steph Curry. Jennings and Flynn are out of the league. And Rubio, who's also underappreciated, is now playing the 6th man on the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, all the credit is on me. I mean, they wouldn't be all-stars without me.
However, the Warriors could see something special in Stephen Curry, so they drafted him with the 7th pick in the 2009 NBA draft. But again, even their star player, Monte Ellis, was doubtful about him. When asked about sharing the backcourt with Steph, Monte told reporters, quote, "You can't put 2 small guys out there and try to play 1 and 2 when you got 2 big guards in the league. You just can't do it." And later stated that the Golden State Warriors were, quote, "not going to win that way." None of the hate and low expectations fazed Steph, though. In his rookie season, Steph was electric. He averaged 17 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. He finished as runner-up for Rookie of the Year to Tyreke Evans, who was only able to beat out Steph after a historic 25-5 season. But in his sophomore year, the injuries started to pile up. Steph suffered ankle sprain after ankle sprain and eventually led to surgery. In the 2012 season, Curry played only 26 games. The criticisms that Steph was too weak and frail to handle an 82-game season looked spot on. And many thought that his career would be short-lived. Still, the Warriors believed in him. They signed him to a 4-year, $44 million contract extension after the 2012 season. At the time, this was seen as a massive risk.
4 years, $44 million, that's essentially $11 million a year for a guy with no ankles. That's a horrible contract. That's just not something you want from a guy who can do nothing but score.
Steph must have taken this criticism personally, because he responded like all NBA greats do. He rose to the occasion. After rehabbing from surgery, Steph transformed his body. He went from being unable to deadlift his body weight to deadlifting over 400 pounds. The effect was game-changing. He was no longer a walking injury risk, and a healthy Steph Curry took the league by storm. Just one season removed from surgery, Steph played 78 games. His production jumped up to 23 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds per game. He was selected to his first All-Star team. Steph would play injury-free for another 5 seasons. But still, the critics were underwhelmed. The league had been dominated by either bruising centers or physical forwards. And people seriously doubted that an undersized guy who mainly shot threes could be the best player on a championship team. Here's Charles Barkley in January of 2015. Charles has had some bad takes, but this one was just horrible.
I don't like jump shooting teams. I don't think you can win the championship beating good teams shoot jumpers.
But they're not even top 3 in your mind?
No, because I like the big men on those other 3 teams.
That same season, Steph won regular season MVP. The Warriors stormed through the playoffs, and the babyface assassin averaged 28 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. The Warriors defeated the Cavs in the finals. Steph and Golden State proved that jump shooting teams could win championships. Steph earned his respect.
The reason why Steph is my favorite player is because I've never seen anybody do it like he does. I've seen real greatness. He's going to sit by himself when it comes to best shooter ever.
You know the rest of the story from there. The heartbreak in 2016. The record-breaking three-point numbers. The first ever unanimous MVP. The Kevin Durant saga, and arguably the greatest team in NBA history. The 2021 scoring title.
62! 62! And he actually surpasses his buddy Klay Thompson.
All that from an undersized, underappreciated guy that the critics didn't think would last 82 games in the NBA. Now, Steph has single-handedly revolutionized the game. He won MVPs, rings, and destroyed nearly every shooting record. Steph has cemented himself as a top player in the history of the NBA, despite all the critics. He is undeniably the greatest shooter of all time. If there's one lesson you can take from this, it's don't judge a player too soon. You could just miss out on the next big thing. If you enjoyed these longer videos, hit the subscribe button and tick the notification bell. I have a ton of awesome content coming out, and I always tailor my videos for the Henry Hoops audience. So if you don't want to miss out, hit the subscribe button.